Hey guys, back at it again with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, hope you like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy Benny here with another web development tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use Google Fonts in your HTML and CSS files to be able to stylize your web document. A lot of times when you're using when you're using an HTML file, you're given like a default font, but there's so many fonts available that you can use on Google Fonts. I'm just going to show you guys how to go about it. So I opened up my CodePen IDE. You can use Visual Studio Code as well. It doesn't really matter, but I prefer to use CodePen because that's where all my projects are. So let me just name this Google Fonts projects. And Google Fonts is really dope. Like you can use so many fonts, bro. Like literally the best. So let's give this a div, and let's name this div container. And let's place an H1, and let's call this Jonathan Bennett. So we have an H1 element here, which says Jonathan Bennett in HTML. So I'm going to position this to the center of the text, the center of the web, the file, the HTML file, and then I'm going to stylize it using Google Fonts. So in CSS, let me just go with the standard settings. Set the pattern to 0, so you don't have any predefined terms. Set the margin to 0, so we don't have any leftover space, and then set the box sizing to border box. Okay, so now we have everything set. Now let's style the container to be able to make sure that it moves to the center of the web document. So let's go to container. And I prefer to use SCSS, as you can see here. It's pretty much almost the same, except if you have like sub classes, it's easier to manipulate than like using a regular CSS file. So here I'm going to display flex. So I'm going to use flexbox here, and then I'm going to make sure the position is set to absolute. And these settings just allow it to be movable. Whereas like it would take you can still decide not to use flexbox, and you can just use the H1 tag, but just using it in a div just makes everything so easy. So you're gonna make align items center, justify content center as well. And then here is the tricky part. You're gonna make the left margin 50% of the view height, and that moves it to 50% here, and then you're going to give it a margin top of 50%, and that brings it there. But the problem is on certain devices it's not actually 50%. It's 50% of how this view height is, so it's not necessarily the most, it's not zeroed at the center. So the best way to do that is to use the transform translate method, and that's like literally the best kept secret in web development. So you set it to minus 50%, which takes it moves it minus 50, so that's you're moving it towards the towards the left of the x-axis, and like moving opposite of the x-axis, and you're going to move opposite of the y-axis as well. So you're basically centered in the middle no matter what happens. So transform translate 50%, and it is literally 50% here. So what we're going to do now is to go to Google Fonts. So let's go to Google Fonts, and I don't think you need a Google account for that. I think you do. So I'm already signed into Google, so of course I can use this. So let's move everything here so you guys can see. Dismiss. Okay, so this is where you'd find your fonts. You go to fonts here, and there's like a bunch of fonts, bro. You can copy so many fonts, use them. One of my favorite fonts is Montserrat. I don't know how you say that. Or Lotto. Like the rapper Lotto. I also love Poppins. So let's click on Poppins. So when you click on Poppins, you have your fonts here. You can select whatever if you want it to be. The 100 just means the weight, the font weight. So it's not going to be that bold. As you go higher, it boldens. The more bolder it gets. So if you go to 800, it's like literally the boldest font weight of the same font. So normally I just go for 400. So let's go to 400 here, and you can select multiple weights, and then you specify that on CSS. So let's just click here. Once you click it, it automatically generates the source code to be placed in the head of the HTML file, and you also get the option of importing the source code in CSS here. So basically, I like to actually place it in the head. So all you gotta do is just copy this. And if you're using Visual Studio Code, just put it in the head of your HTML file. But here, since I'm using CodePen, all I have to do is just click here. And this is the stuff for the head. And all you have to do is just place it here. And bam, literally placed. So what you want to do is you're going to give it an H1 tag here, and then you're going to say, you can literally copy it from Google Fonts as well, and it's probably here. So all you have to do is just copy this, which is the CSS style, and you place it here, and boom, this is it. This is the Poppins fonts right here. So that's the simple way you can use it. Also, you can use it on you can import it on CSS. Let me show you. So let me just take this out of the head of the HTML file, save and close, so it's not going to show anything, and let's import it here. So basically you're going to import this to your CSS. Normally I like to place it at the top so people know. And there you have it. So just importing it like this with the import tag, it literally gives it the Poppins font. So this is how you do it. To anybody that's just trying to use Google Fonts, it's literally the best. There's so many fonts. You don't have to always use the standard fonts. You can use there's so many different ones. Like sometimes even for Halloween, I one time used the like a very scary font. So there's so many ways to go about it. Try it out, check it out, and let me know what you think. If you guys want to see more, definitely subscribe to the channel. See you later.